Every once in a while, you come across a certain habit or a certain principle in a book or a principle you get from a coach or a guru, and it really changes your life. Well, in today's video, I want to share 5 of my most important daily habits and the impact they've had both on my health and on my life. What's up, ladies and gents? It is Alex Hine here over at modernhealthmonk.com. So the first of these 5 habits that has totally changed my life, I applied it to everything from health to finances to relationships to spirituality. The first is the nightly review. So one of the habits I've shared with you many times before is the habit of meditation. Now, I've always been a kind of regular meditator. I've been meditating for over 10 years, maybe getting close to 15 years, but I've never really done it consistently every day for over a half hour or an hour a day. And I like to think of meditation as exercise for the brain, right? So it's kind of like if you do 10 minutes of exercise a day, you are going to see results and you're going to see some improvement, but it's nothing like if you exercise 30 or 60 minutes a day, 5 days a week. But the problem was I knew what I had to do and I could do it, but I just couldn't actually get myself to do it. Every day I would do the same thing. I would wake up a little bit too late. I wouldn't really want to meditate because I just wanted to get out of my bedroom and start my day. I would do a few minutes of meditation, and then I would rush to work, and then I would do the same thing over and over. And with each day repeating itself, there was no reflection upon what was not working and how could I actually improve. So each night, what I did was simple. All I did was I took a minute to write down, did I do the 30 minutes of meditation? And if I didn't, why not? And I realized certain key things, like for example, the fact that if I didn't do it in the morning, it would not happen throughout the day. Even though I told myself 100 times that I would do it, I never did. So what I found was just by setting the alarm back 15 minutes, I could actually get myself to do it consistently. Now the second daily habit here is daily habit tracking regarding whatever habits are related to the core goal you want to achieve. So for example, coming back to my meditation example, I knew that I wanted to meditate around 30 to 40 minutes every day. And again, I knew what I had to do and I kind of had an idea of what was holding me back, but I just wasn't making the progress I wanted. So eventually I installed a whiteboard in my bedroom. All right, I covered the entire wall right next to my bed on the left, and I would write down what time I woke up and how many minutes that day I meditated for, right? And remember, this is important because this is the exact location right next to where I meditate. So it served as a visual trigger, a visual reminder. Now each day I would try to go down for the wake up schedule, right? So I would try to beat that score by going down, and I would try to go up by beating the meditation score. And I would just go up and down by 1 minute per day, right? So it started here, and then they would just gradually get farther and farther apart. So wake up at 7:45, then 7:44. Meditate 10 minutes, meditate 11 minutes. It was that simple. And just by tracking it, I started making daily, consistent progress for the first time really in months. The third daily habit is the habit of morning visualization. So I've been very ambivalent, very on the fence about whether visualization is real, whether it works, blah, blah, blah. I've heard about it from Olympians. I've heard about it from some really successful people. And then finally, one of my friends who's really successful told me in person just how much of an impact it had on his life. And after that moment is when I start applying it in my own life. Now, a few years back, when I was living in China, I came back to the United States and I moved back in with my parents. And when I did, I got really depressed because I had no friends, I had no job. I had my parents and my family, but I didn't really have anything else. I didn't have a life because I'd been away from home for so long. I was away at college before for 4 years, then I had a professional job, and then I moved to China for a while. So I came back, started at square one, found myself really depressed because again, there was nothing here. There was no routine, there was no work, nothing. So what I did was each morning, I would just visualize really the coolest life I could imagine. I would visualize myself going out with really cool friends that got me. We would go out and get drinks and have fun, go on adventures. I visualized myself dating an amazing girl who would travel the world with me. I visualized myself creating this passion project, which became Modern Health Monk. And eventually, interestingly enough, over the periods of months and years, every single one of them became true. Maybe I should have asked to be a millionaire. I don't know. But whatever the case, visualization actually primed my mind. It kind of put on blinders, right? It reminded me of focusing on what I wanted, and they all ended up happening. The fourth daily habit here has been exercising with momentum. So for many of us that work a lot, like I've worked over 12-hour days for 3 years now. And when you work a lot, the last thing you really want to do is exercise. So one thing I found that works really well is maintaining momentum, right? Like I know if I come home after work and I sit down on the couch, I'm not getting up. So what I do is, number one, I don't even own a TV. I physically do not own a TV. That's number one. Number two, I don't even go home until 10 o'clock at night. So what I do is I go right from work and I drive directly to the gym, and then I go to the gym to my favorite cafe till they close at 10 p.m. And only then do I come back home. And the reason is because number one, momentum will help me go to the gym. And number two, when I had a full-time job, momentum is what got me to go from a 10-hour job to work out and then work 3 more hours building this audience here of Modern Health Monk. So the momentum principle is really, if you want to stay awake and work on something else or exercise, keep the momentum. Do not kill it right after your work or school or whatever. Now, the 5th daily habit that has dramatically improved my life is what I call the one-page cheat sheet. Now, there's an old story in Earl Nightingale's book, The Strangest Secret, where he talks about how a ship that leaves a dockyard, let's just say in New York, right? It leaves the water there, it's going somewhere, and the ship doesn't know where it's going. If it gets off track, it doesn't really know how to get back on track because there is no track. But a ship that leaves from New York and it wants to go to, let's say, Australia, even if it gets off track or even if it gets blown way off track, it knows where it wants to go because there's a map, right? Australia is down here, so the ship knows I have to correct course. So even if it's off course like this, it can adjust. The one-page cheat sheet is really me just listing my yearly goals. And if it's a really long, like a multi-year goal, then listing whatever my life goal is that I'm working towards. Even if it's just, I would prefer a 1 to 3 year goal because, working towards a 50-year goal is a little bit tough. The thing here is just that it serves as a focal point. And every single morning I look at that one-page cheat sheet. It says what I'm working towards, the daily habits I have to do every single day, and then each quarter of the year, every 3 months, what exactly I'm doing in order to get there. And then I write down the exact visualization of how I want it to look, feel, all that kind of stuff. So that's the 5th daily habit. So here's your tiny habit for today. I want you to come up with some kind of daily habit routine or use these exact ones I've just given you to apply every single day. Because again, how we spend our days is how we spend our lives, as the saying goes, right? That's why my book is called Master the Day. If you get the day right, the years become amazing. So take some time to think about what your daily routine and what your daily schedule is going to be. Tell me below. Take a second, leave a comment below. Tell me what one of your key habits or your key routines could possibly be. So if you're on YouTube, going over to modernhealthmonk.com, I've got a Real Food Habits weight loss guide for you there. The exact 5 daily habits you need to know. They are different from these 5 habits. Go get that. Leave a comment below telling me what I just asked you for. And then go ahead, click subscribe, the Monk Dude right there. You get the next video right when it's out. And make sure you get on my email list because that's where I've got tons of guides there and lots of bonuses that are not on YouTube. So I hope that helps. Take care, and I'll see you next time.